What is up everyone? In this video we'll do an extensive run through of the Forge of Souls, which is the first dungeon within Icecrown Citadel. I'll try to be as straight to the point as possible so we can keep this video short but filled with all the information needed to successfully conquer the dungeon. Before we get into it, don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell button to keep updated on our guides. Alrighty, so the first set of trash mobs that the party will encounter are the Soul Guard Watchmen. Their main ability to watch out for is Shadow Runes, which covers them in a shield that reflects harmful spells for 8 seconds. Apart from that, their normal attacks have a chance of triggering Unholy Frenzy, which increases the damage and attack speed that they do. The next set of trash mobs include the following. Soul Guard Bonecasters, whose main ability to watch out for is Bone Volley, which deals a significant amount of physical damage to all party members within range. This can be interrupted with stuns or silences, so everyone should do this as much as possible or as much as they can. This mob also uses Shield of Bones, which absorbs damage and explodes at a certain threshold. Soul Guard Adepts on the other hand uses Drain Light, Raise Dead, and Shadow Bolt, but their main ability is Shadow Mend, which heals one of the trash mobs within the area. There are also the Soul Guard Reapers, who use a Shadow Lance, which deals Shadow Frost damage to a single target, and Frost Nova, which deals frost damage while also immobilizing players within 50 yards. Other trash mobs you will encounter on your way to the first boss include Soul Guard Animators, whose main ability to watch out for is Soul Sickness, which is a debuff that slows player actions and stuns the player for 5 seconds if the debuff is not removed within 8 seconds. This mob also uses Soul Siphon, which decreases damage output for 10 seconds. Lastly, this mob also uses Shadow Bolt. There are also the Soul Horrors, who uses Soul Strike, which basically just deals shadow damage to single targets. Alright, so we fought our way through, and now we are at the first boss of the Forge of Souls, and this is Bronjam, the Godfather of Souls. So this boss has 2 phases, and during both phases, it is important for the tank to tank the boss in the middle of the platform. Bronjam uses the following abilities. First is Magic's Bane, which deals physical damage in a circular arc along with additional damage equivalent to half of the target's mana. Second is Shadow Bolt, which he continuously casts if the primary aggro target is not in the melee range. Third is Corrupt Soul, which is the most important ability to watch out for during the first phase. This ability will randomly select or target a party member apart from the tank, and after 4 seconds, a corrupted soul fragment will spawn at the target's location. The target of Corrupt Soul and the tank should both run in the opposite direction to ensure the maximum distance between the soul fragment and Bronjam. This gives the party more time to kill the soul fragment before it reaches Bronjam, because if it does, it heals Bronjam with quite a significant amount of HP. During the second phase, Bronjam will teleport in the middle of the platform, and at this point, all players must also rush to the middle as Bronjam will cast his 4th ability, Soulstorm. This ability summons a vortex around the room, and players caught in the vortex will receive continuous shadow damage while being slowed. Bronjam will also start continuously casting his last ability, which is Fear, forcing targeted players into the vortex. In this phase, it is important to utilize defensive and counter fear abilities. The last trash mob that the party will encounter are these Spectral Wardens, which casts Wail of Souls, instantly dealing shadow damage to players within 40 yards. Another ability is Veil of Shadows, which reduces a target's healing received by 75%. Note that this ability can also be interrupted with stuns or silences. Alright, so now we are at the last boss of the Forge of Souls, and this is Devourer of Souls. This boss uses the following abilities. First is Phantom Blast, which deals massive shadow damage, so interrupt this as much as possible with stuns and silences. Second is Mirrored Souls, where the boss targets and links with a random player, mirroring a certain percent of the damage being done to the boss to that linked player. At this point, everyone should stop damaging the boss for 8 seconds to avoid killing the linked player. The linked player should also pop defensives as well, just to manage survivability. Third is Well of Souls, where the boss will leap with a random player, creating a purple Well of Souls in the landing area. Anyone standing within the well will receive shadow damage every second. Fourth is Unleashed Souls, where the boss summons Tormented Souls that deals minimal damage. However, these souls are not targetable and cannot be taunted by the tank. The last ability is Wailing Souls, where the boss basically lets out a straight beam of souls while slowly rotating throughout the entire room. Players in front of the beam will receive shadow damage every zero point 0.4 seconds, which can quickly stack and kill them. When the boss casts this, simply stay behind it and deal as much DPS as you can, because this will also be its most vulnerable state. And that pretty much covers our extensive guide for the Forge of Souls. If you guys found this guide helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Excellent work, champions. We shall set up our base camp in these